And you know, 5 years ago today, hundreds of students' lives were in danger when a monster EF4 tornado about to rip through Henryville right at the end of the school day.
But Henryville's teachers and students have some miraculous stories to tell of survival and recovery. Eyewitness News reporter Jenny Runovich went to Clark County for a look back at what happened and how far they've come.
When the storm hit on March 2nd, 2012, what happened here at Henryville Elementary at the junior-senior high school is nothing short of remarkable. 1,300 students, 130 staff members, nobody hurt. And despite total destruction, the kids were back in these schools 5 months later.
There's one that says "We are strong," and it has a picture of a tornado.
Pieced together on this memory wall is a lesson in resilience.
The symbol's still there. Our hearts are full of Hornet pride.
The words outside the shell of their school in 2012 are now etched inside as a reminder of an incredible recovery.
We were strong that day. We held it together. That's a theme that has carried on for the last 5 years.
This is what Henryville had to hold together, what they had to stare down, then salvage. The schools took a direct hit from an EF4 tornado on March 2nd, 2012. Two storm cells, about 10 minutes apart, tore this place to shreds.
Deepest rumbling sound you can imagine, like maybe 2 or 3 trains like running overhead over you.
Clayton Smith, now a senior, was in 7th grade at the time. He wrote out the tornado in the school office.
Actually right exactly there.
Hunkered down near the nurses station with a couple dozen students and staff.
That's when we all just rushed in the office, and not but 20 seconds later it hit.
And no one was hurt, not even a scratch.
School leaders knew something bad was coming that day. Just as the buses readied for dismissal, it got really bad.
At about 2:25, we knew that the tornado was in a path to hit the center of our town. Well, we're the center of the town.
That's when they made a life-saving decision. Send the buses, get students home. Not long after, most of the school was gone.
This whole area was down to the concrete.
But the whole wall was missing, so I'm like, whoa, that's not what I'm used to seeing.
Clayton, Mr. Albert, and the 85 people still here stayed safe because of where they chose to shelter. Concrete offices, bathrooms, and locker rooms. No hallways, no windows. It's part of the continuing plan to keep students protected from any future storm. In this one, they avoided the most significant damage.
And this is, of course, the most famous part of the tornado.
Henryville's gym, which took the first hit that day. Security cameras captured its destruction in real time. Walls collapsed, the roof dropped 60 feet and slammed into the floor.
After you saw it, you thought, wow. And the thing is, if kids were in here, you'd have been really in trouble.
But they weren't. And even right after the storm, there were signs that survival was just the start.
The baskets were still hanging. The rafters were still solid. And the biggest thing I can tell you is the American flag was still hanging right where it is right now.
Henryville schools rebuilt and reopened for the following school year, a massive $54 million project with round-the-clock work. Students spent a few months in temporary classrooms during that time, but they also spent a lot of time outside of school helping neighbors recover. That is the legacy that lingers 5 years later.
Henryville High School.
Because in the hallways, in the classrooms, things are normal again. Students don't feel defined by the storm anymore. But what happened here changed them, just like it changed Henryville.
It did solidify the whole close-knit community in general, not just the students, but the whole small town itself. They were really brought together by it.
It's obvious after 5 years, the students here not only survived, they have thrived. The storm may have taken their school that day, but not their spirit, and they are ready should another storm hit. In Henryville, Jenny Runovich, Channel 13, Eyewitness News.
Well, they have come a long, long way in
really
those 5 years. They should be proud of that. They've done a great job.
The resiliency of the community there, it really is amazing.
It is. And you were telling us last night about the kids and the students that did all the helping and the waters they used to they took and all
that. The spirit was extraordinary, really. The kids took it upon themselves to take water to people that had been, knocked out of their homes. And, I mean, just really reaching out in a way that I'm not sure I would have done when I was that age. You know, they really are extraordinary.
Well,